Hi and welcome to MidKent College. Thanks for joining us today on this webinar about engineering. My name's Karen and I'm going to be your host for the next 30 minutes. I'm joined by Mike, who's one of our engineering lecturers here at MidKent College, who's shortly going to go
Morning.
through more about the subject area, progression and careers that you can go into. Now, visitors to our normal open days tell us that they really value being able to see the workshops and the salons, but unfortunately we're unable to show you that at the moment just due to this current situation. However, you can check out some really good 360 photos on our website. However, Mike's here today to answer any queries that you have. So if you do have any, please pop them in the live chat window to the right-hand side of your screen. Just some general housekeeping to start us off. Please check out the poll tab to the right-hand side of your screen, just to let us know whether you've already applied or whether you're here just to find out more information today. Like I said, if you do have any questions, please pop them in the live chat window, and my colleagues Hayley and Sue are here today to answer any queries that you have, and we're going to put some to Mike as well. I'd like to start today's session by introducing our principal, Simon Cook, who's going to show you a bit more in this welcome video.
Hello there, I'm Simon and I'm the principal of MidKent College. It's great to be able to talk to you, and I so wish I would be able to talk to you in person, but virtually, hopefully your opportunity to get to know a little bit more about the college will help you with your decisions that you need to make. So over the next 30 minutes in this virtual open event, you're going to have an opportunity to meet one of the tutors from your chosen subject area. Really make the most of that time to find out what it means for you. Ask some questions. No question is a silly question. Please ask whatever question you've got. Take some notes, but make sure that you've got the info that you really need to make that decision about what you want to do in September. And if you're really not sure what you want to do, then you're not the only person. There are lots of people every year that we see. It won't be any different the current year under these current circumstances who really don't know what they want to do. There might be even some of you who are thinking you really don't know what to do because you see what's going on in the world and you're not quite sure what job prospects there may be. By the time you finish your programme, the world will be a different place again, and there will be many more opportunities then that may not exist now. So talk to our staff about it. And also don't be frightened if you don't know what you want to do. Have a look at some of our other sessions. Come into other sessions and see. What's really important, and one thing I say to everybody who comes into the college, you must feel comfortable with the people that you're going to be sharing your next few months and years with. And I want you to feel comfortable that you're going to be able to flourish and thrive as a person, not just study a qualification, but flourish and thrive as a person with those people you talk to. So if you don't get any of the answers that you think you need in the virtual session, we've got a brilliant team on our course inquiries, and we've got a brilliant team in our careers office who will help you navigate the language, what options there are, and for you, what's the right thing to do, which is a question we often get asked every year. I hope you enjoy your session, and I really, really hope that I get to see you very, very soon at the college, and we look forward to welcoming you with us in September, if not in person, virtually, that's for sure. Good luck.
As Simon said, nothing is a silly question, so please do ask us if you have anything that you need. So next up, I'd like to introduce Mike, who's one of our engineering lecturers here at MidKent College. Here you are, Mike.
Thank you. Good morning. We're going to go through a quick PowerPoint, and we're going to talk about engineering, and then we'll answer some questions afterwards if you've got any. Our first PowerPoint is Welcome to Engineering. I'm going to quickly tell you who I am, who my staff are, and there's 2 email addresses there. So there's mine, michael.nevitt@midkent.ac.uk, and ruth.k@midkent.ac.uk. Any questions, feel free to forward them to us. We'll try and answer them as best we can. Engineering is made up of myself and Ruth, so we're the managers, and then we have some lecturers underneath us. They're all specialist lecturers, okay, and these lecturers are specialists in maths, specialists in welding, specialists in turning, specialists in milling. And what will happen is when you come, you will be assigned a SPC, which is Study Program Coordinator. They will be your main point of contact. They will look after you for the whole time you are here, from a curriculum point of view. All right. Anything else, you feel free to contact individual lecturers for individual subjects, or you can speak to myself or Ruth. We do teach, and we are on the shop floor quite a lot. We are around. We are easily contactable. So one thing is, everyone across engineering it works together, and it is a big support network. So feel free to talk to any of us about any problems, or the college has a lot of other areas that will help and support you through your journey. Hopefully you've written down those email addresses if you need them. I'm going to move you on to the second slide. Okay. So the second slide is about our study program. Okay, about what we offer you. Okay, so we offer a study program at MidKent College. Every area offers a study program. That study program is made up of the vocational element, the English and maths, the PPD, and the work experience. You have to attend all and achieve all of them to pass your course. Okay, but we will support you, and we weave it in and out of your timetable, what we deliver. So what you do in English and maths will be supported by what you're learning in engineering. Your work experience will be relevant to what you're doing, and it will be supported by what we are doing practically and theoretically. Your PPD will support you in doing applying for jobs, becoming work ready, lots of skills that you will take forward in life and in your careers. Okay. On the left hand side, I've got a quick breakdown of the people that will deliver this study program to you. SPC we mentioned earlier, it's a study program coordinator. Okay, so that is the member of staff in the vocational that is attached to you, and for that course will be your main contact. They will look after everything, help collate everything, have any questions, they will chase attendance, they will congratulate you if you're doing well, they will phone home or chase you if you're slacking a little bit. Okay. Subject specialist tutors. So like I said earlier, we have Gary Williams, who is CAD. Okay, so he's a CAD expert, so he will teach you CAD and CAM and everything along them lines, engineering principles. I am a welding lecturer, so I'm mainly mechanical. I will teach you welding. I've been in industry for a very long time. All of our tutors have come out of industry. Some have come and gone quite recently, so we are all upskilled. We have Ruth, who is electronics and mechanical. So Ruth is the head of the department, but does lecture as well. So she will do anything from electronics through to welding, fabrication, just like me. We have Elijah and Keith, who are electrical and electronics. So they will take through your PCB and your electrical units, as well as other areas. We all cross-teach and cross-pollinate. Okay. You also have Greg. So Greg is a machining and turning instructor. Okay, so he will take you through your machining units and where you make hand tools, etc., etc. We're then supported by the PPD tutor, as is Sally Mamoon, who very, very lovely lady, very knowledgeable. She'll help you apply for UCAS. She will help you with any issues you have. She will take you through everything that will support you, kind of the underpinning stuff that will support you. We have our work experience coordinators and our careers advisors who you will find in the pavilion, but work closely with the SPCs and us as a department to help you move into employment, move where you need to go, let you know of any opportunities that come up. So that is roughly our courses. Okay, we'll move on to the next slide, and that will take you through breakdowns and how we progress through our courses. Okay. Right, so our courses, we are progression minded, so we like to, our courses are like stepping stones. We like to progress our students from whether they come to college at foundation or whether they come through from school. We run a level 1, level 2 and a level 3, okay? Because they're stepping stones, at any point you can step off that stone, okay? So say you do a level 1 and you gain an apprenticeship, it's absolutely fine. We have our own apprenticeship department. So we will run welding, turning, milling, engineer operations. We run a whole variety of apprenticeships. So most of the time, most apprentices you will pick up in this area will come back to us anyway. So we quite often have students that start courses, drop out because they've gained an apprenticeship. It's absolutely fine. For us, it's progression. Okay, you are moving forward. So level 1, you will join us at level 1. Once you complete the 1-year level 1 course, okay, you will then move on to level 2. Level 2, you will then complete a 1-year course and then hopefully stay with us to level 3. Okay, and then once you've done level 3, you want to be then looking at high level apprenticeships, or you want to be looking at full-time employment or university. Okay, so at any point in between these, you can dip out. We quite often have students that go to other courses, so they will do a level 1 with us and then move over to maybe motor vehicle, or we have level 2 of us and move over to music. We've had we support our students in doing that. They come to us towards the end of the year. We interview them. We make sure that they're happy where they are. We find out where they want to go, and then we try and build that in. So if they want to go to carpentry, we try and spend some time that they can go and see the carpentry lecturers, see the workshops, know what the program's about. If they want to go to music, they will do that as well. We run general engineering here. We don't have specifically electronic, electrical, or welding. You will do a bit of everything at every level, and it builds on each one. So at level 1, you will learn your hand skills and your workshop safety. You will learn basic welding, so you'll be able to do a T-fillet. You will learn basic machining techniques so that you can use all the machines in a nice up-to-date workshop, okay, which is very industry relevant. And then you will build on at level 2. So level 2, you will take your welding, you would then progress it further, and you will do that weld in different positions, and then you will test it, and you will then start cutting your own steel. Same as with the machining and the turning, you will build, each level builds on each thing, and it will become more apparent when we talk about the course breakdown in a minute why that happens. You won't just repeat the same thing for 3 years. You will build on each thing you've got, so that knowledge is secure. And then when you do go to industry and you get full-time jobs, or you do go into apprenticeships or whatever, that knowledge is secure. And we are all from local industry. We don't want to be sending people to the companies that we used to work for, our friends in industry that can't do the job or don't have the secure knowledge. So the stepping stones is a big thing for us, cementing in the knowledge and then building on top of that. I'm going to move on just quickly. I've said higher apprenticeships. There's no such thing as a bad apprenticeship. There is apprenticeships are starting at level 2. You want to be looking at apprenticeship that is fabrication, welding, hands-on in a workshop. Level 3, when you get to a high level apprenticeship, you want to be looking at things like surveying, architecture, building services, that kind of thing, civil engineering. So that's the difference. There's no such thing as a good or a bad apprenticeship. It's just we have an apprenticeship, and then what we call a high level apprenticeship would have to be supported with some kind of university higher level qualification, level 4, level 5, things like that. Okay, right, I'm going to move on to the next slide. So unit breakdowns, this is what it's saying. We deliver a mechanical and electrical, so we deliver everything in a bubble. Okay, PEO is our level 1 course. All right, so we looked at our courses. We made sure that each course folds into the other. Okay, so there's continuous pathways for everybody. PEO is Performing Engineering Operations. It's a City and Guilds course. Okay, so City and Guilds have been around for many years. It's well recognised in industry. Okay, so you will join us on our PEO course. That is made up of 5 units, which are mainly workbook. Okay, so what you would do is you will do your practicals, and then you will complete a workbook to support that. All right, it's not as academically challenging because we are concentrating more on practical to get you free flowing in the workshops. All right, so the PEO is a very practical unit with minimal writing. It's evidence based. We then move on to level 2. So once you've completed that, you progress. Level 2, we run another level 2 PEO. Okay, so this is a PEO, Performing Engineering Operations, at level 2. It's City and Guilds again, and it's 6 units. Okay, so we will be building on the units from level 1. If you join at a level 2, it doesn't matter. You haven't missed anything. Okay, we will we will start from, everyone starts at different points. It's everything from turning and milling, electrical, electronic, to welding. They make all sorts of tools. They do all sorts of welds. There's very, very practical, and it's supported by that underpinning knowledge of work booklets. So you will go through your work booklet, and you will complete, once you've completed a task, you will plan it, you will make it, and then you will review it. Okay, and then you will answer the questions in the work booklets. So again, a very practical course, good for students that are keen to get out into industry quite quickly. Okay, and don't want to go into the BTEC route, okay, which is the other level 2. We offer a level 2 BTEC, which is a national extended certificate. Okay, this one becomes slightly more in depth. So this is where people want to start looking at progression to level 3 and then going to the high level apprenticeships or university, etc., etc. So the level 2 BTEC is a very good course. It's 10 units. Okay, 2 of them are exams. Now they're sat here in college, but they are actual exams that come from BTEC. So you will have some of your units are dedicated to studying for them exams. Okay, you do get a couple of goes at that exam, so you will sit that exam about January. Okay, so you've got time to plan for that exam, and then you will resit them later on in the year. Okay, so you will get 2 to 3 attempts at the exams. There one by the time you get to the second exam, most people have got it in the bag. Okay, they are general engineering exams, so it's a formulation of all of the units. So we don't sit it till January to give you a chance to have experienced all the units. Okay, once you've done that, a lot of people on that course tend to either go on to apprenticeships, gain apprenticeships through a lot of it through their work experience. So they do their work experience, they then pick up full-time jobs, they pick up apprenticeships, things like that. More theory work. You will have 10 units. This time, instead of workbooks, you have typically 3 assignments to each unit. Okay, you won't get an assignment until you're ready. You'll be taught that. Then you will have an assignment as a kind of summative assessment at the end. Okay, the assignments tend to build on them. For example, welding is the first assignment is planning to do welding. So you will learn about welding, how to plan for it. You will create a welding plan. The second assignment is then practical welding. And then the third assignment is destructive testing. So breaking your welds, making sure they're safe and they meet your plan and they meet the specifications stated. Our level 3 that we offer, so this is our final stepping stone before we move on to Maidstone, where you can do your level 4 and 5, or whether you can go to university or apprenticeship. Our level 3 this year, we're going to run a national extended certificate, which is a 1-year course. Okay, so we're going to run the 1-year course. It's up to 10 units with 2 exams. Okay, so again, these are external exams that are sat once you're prepped for them. If you complete that, you can leave after the first year with your full extended certificate qualification at level 3, okay, which is accepted in lots of areas. We have a lot of people phone us because we're very lucky at the college to have a careers team that are integrating the community very well. We have a lot of phone calls where people phone us and ask for students at certain levels. So level 2, we have welding companies phone up for level 2 students. We've had Rochester Airport have phoned us for a level 3 student before, for aviation and mechanical aviation and electronics. We've had hospitals contact us for an apprentice student to work on artificial limbs and stuff like that. We have a lot of BAE. We have a lot of other big companies, UK Power Networks, that will contact us and say, we are looking for students at a level 3. You don't have to have completed it. You have to be on that program. Okay, so a lot of people will do the 1-year course and then move on. Or a lot of people will then join that course and say, actually, we want to go to university or we want to progress here. In which case, there is an option of doing a second year, which will transfer that into a diploma or an extended diploma. Okay, which the idea of that is you will study more units. Okay, so it is a bit more of a commitment, but it will give you better UCAS points for whichever university you go to. We have students that go to University of Kent, University of Canterbury. We've got students that go to Brunel this year. We've got a variety all up and down the country. So some students that want to do the first year and then go into an apprenticeship, that's fine. Other students that might want to hang on and go into higher education, they will then do the second year. Okay, so it's very stepped. We've created lots of pathways for people to dip in and out of. As well as apprenticeships, we also are going to start running evening courses, and we are also registered with the Welding Institute. So we do welding codings and welding examiner tests and things like that. So what you can do is you do have the option where you can chop and change and bolt things in. So you could join us on the level 2 and say, right, I'm going into welding. Can I get some codings to support me for when I join my welding company after the summer? It's all stuff that we can weave in and out. Okay. I'm going to move on to the next slide now, because I don't want to take up too much of your time. This is my final slide. I've talked probably at 100 miles an hour. I do apologise, but we will answer any questions after this. This is our facilities, resources, and enrichment. This is what we use to support you whilst you're here. Okay, so our facilities, we have mechanical workshops, welding facilities, electrical electronic labs, IT suites, software suites. These are like very, very high level. Our workshop has recently undergone a complete overhaul to make it industry relevant. Okay, so not only are our staff industry relevant, we've got our mechanical workshops are industry relevant. So we are very lucky to have up-to-date welders. We've got plasma cutters. We've got handheld plasma cutters. We've got a big plasma cutter machine. We've got CNC, 5-axis mills. We are very lucky that we can supply stuff that you will be using. There's not something that's left over from the Ark and the Stone Age. You will be using stuff. Virtual welders. We've got we're doing a lot of kind of blended lessons where our students will use a virtual welder, which is very, very good for getting the basics of welding before you go into a welding bay, an actual practical, loud, noisy, dirty welding bay. So that combined with your theory lessons and your practical lessons will speed up the amount of time that you can learn to weld in. It makes it much quicker. Again, you will do your CAD, and then we've got mills and lathes that we can then run CAM programs on, and everything integrates within our courses. So what you learn in one course will support another area. Okay, and it's done so with some very, very nice equipment that we've been lucky to get our hands on, and very, very industry relevant. So in the resources that it is laid out, we have hydraulics and pneumatics rigs from Festo. We've got the virtual welders, the mills, the lathes. We've just taken to a PLC simulator and three-phase simulators. So that again, these are big rigs that we have in our labs that you can work on, you can take apart. We've got old machinery that can be worked on for maintenance and stuff like that as well. So we are very lucky in that setup. And then finally, enrichment, which is the bit that holds it all together. Okay, so once you come on the course, we like to go and do paintballing. So we do paintballing, we do various other things. It's just a bit team building, getting to know everyone. Most of the time, people spend all their time shooting me. It's a bit mean, really.
That's how
We
it
have
is.
yeah, I know, they just like to shoot me for some reason. We do go to trade fairs and exhibitions, so the Excel and Birmingham, there's lots of, we arrange a coach, we go for a day out, we get lots of freebies and goodies, but we tie it in what we're doing. So a level 3 is has a project unit, and level 2 has other units that are kind of leading up to that. So what you would do is you have to plan a project. We'll go into these trade fairs, these exhibitions, the science museum. We go to these museums and you will get an idea for your projects. So you might go to the space area and you think, actually, I could do with something like this on my project. Or you go to other areas, you think, oh, that's a really good idea. I could adapt that. And our students, once they do these projects at level 3, they take their project books to interviews. And because they're very, very sought after by employers, to have that project is a big thing. It shows that you can plan something all the way through from materials, rough sketches, everything, all the way through to building. We don't often build it because it's quite a long lengthy unit. We might make some prototypes, but it will be everything up until that point. It's very sought after by employers, and it's stuff that you will learn at level 1, level 2, the level 3 first year that is all built up onto. For instance, your drawing. At level 1 and 2, you learn 2D drawing and 3D drawing. By the time you get to kind of level 2 into level 3, you're using CAD. So it streamlines all the way through, and it incorporates then the maths and the English and everything else that we deliver. That is me done talking. If it's okay, can we move over to the frequently asked questions? Is that all right?
Yep, thanks, Mike. That was really helpful and really informative. As you said, if you've got any questions at all, please pop them in the live chat. I've got a couple just to get us started, Mike, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
How does English and maths fit into engineering?
English and maths is vital to engineering. Unfortunately, as engineers, we aren't the best at English in the sense of we tend to write everything in shorthand and bullet points. So, which is where the BTEC course comes into its own, because we are then writing assignments and plans and things like that. So English is fundamental. You've got to be able to plan something, and you've got to be able to articulate it that somebody else can understand it. So English is very important in that sense, which is why when we go into BTEC and we've got the written assignments, they're based on scenarios. So I won't go through a whole scenario, but a scenario might be that you are a apprentice and you need to create a welding plan, and somebody else is going to make that weld. You've got to be able to articulate it and write it down so that somebody can understand it and follow that plan, because you would have the practical knowledge of how to do it, but it's telling somebody else how you did it. And the same as reviewing stuff. So English is very important. in engineering. It is very important. Maths is definitely important. Not everyone's at different levels of maths. Okay, so we get to level 3 and you will start looking at calculus and you will start looking at higher level maths, but you will have that underpinning knowledge from level 1, level 2, from your GCSEs, your functional skills, etc., etc. You need to be able to measure accurately. You need to be able to record numbers and addition and subtraction. So what we try and do is the maths that we do, so you're doing trigonometry and Pythagoras and all these scary things that you hear and you probably didn't enjoy when you was at school maybe, is suddenly much more interesting because you are working out, you know, how big to cut your sheet, or you're making your bevel gauge or your hand tool, or we make toolboxes and stuff like that. We have lots of other projects that go on in the background as well, kind of extension projects for those students that finish a bit quicker, coming up to Christmas and holidays and things like that. We make lots of different things. So it is key, and the maths is being drip fed in quite often without even realising. So maths is a key thing, but it's maths that you apply day to day in a workplace. It's not sitting there writing pages and pages of sums. It's got a relevancy, which makes it more interesting.
Perfect. Thank you very much. One of the questions we've had, what would a typical timetable look like?
Okay, so we are working our timetables. I can't show you one at the minute, but a typical timetable is between 3 and 5 days. Okay, so what we try and do is, if you have a workshop, we will give you kind of a double lesson or make it as long a lesson as we can. Our lessons are an hour and a half. All right, they tend to run between 8:30 and 4, 4:30. What you might find is that you will come in for 3 longer days. So you might come in for 3 days at 8:30 to 4:30, or you might find that you will come in 4 days and have some slightly shorter ones. Okay. When you're in on your timetable, it's available online. We print a copy off. It's something that is constantly picked up with your SPCs, that, you know, if there's anything missing or you're not sure, you can let us know. There is a lunch break in the middle because, you know, we are quite close to town, so a lot of people like to go off and get their lunch. A lot of people go off and do whatever they're going to do and come back, because it's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So we tend to do it so you have a theory lesson, maybe a practical lesson, and then a maths lesson. And then the next day you might have a PPD lesson, you might have an SPC lesson where you get some time to spend some time with your study program coordinator just to type any loose ends, so it creates some folders, etc., etc. Finish off any work, ask any questions that need answering, and then you will have a day where you might be doing electronics. So it's very varied. You won't find that you'll have a day where you are just doing maths, and maths.
That's
You
a bit
will
heavy
have
going, that one.
and that's what we found. So we try and mix it up. So you will have a day where you do some welding in the morning, you will then do some electronics, and then you will do something else. The practicals we tend to spread out over 2 days. So you have one day where you're doing welding, and the next practical might be electronics, because we stagger our units. So we're in for a year. So over that year, you need to achieve all the units. But, like, for instance, the BTEC Extended Certificate, you need to have a bit of knowledge of all of them before you sit your exam. So it would be a case of most of the practical lessons will run the whole year. You won't find that you will do welding and then after a month you don't do it again. You will find that you will do welding and then you will do some machining and turning and come back to welding throughout that year. Okay. So it is varied. We try and keep it varied. There is areas to get changed when you do come into your practicals. You can hire lockers, etc., etc. So you will have your timetable advanced, so you can plan what days you are bringing what equipment in, because for our practical in the workshop, mechanical practical, you will need boots and overalls. Everything else is supplied, but it's a case of we are where you have to bring them in for the day. So we'll have those sort of practicals we'll have on one day, and then the practicals like electronics and CAD and CAM and things like that, where you might not need so much equipment, we'll bring in on other days.
Great, thanks, Mike.
Okay, that's all right.
The timetables might look slightly different just from September, just due to us complying with social distancing rules. We will keep you in the loop, so don't worry, everyone. You might also be doing some blended learning from home, just so you might be doing webinars, you might be doing Zoom calls and Skype calls and things like that, just so, because the safety of our staff and students is paramount for us during the time. So just another question from Anna Mike, if that's okay. Do students have the opportunity to take additional GCSE courses in English and maths alongside engineering?
Yes, yes. It's again, say it's part of the study program. You may come to us and have a C or above, in which case within the college you won't need to, you won't be expected to do GCSEs. Most employers want GCSEs at C and above, which is a level 4. Okay, so I'm in old money. So what would happen is if you came to us on a level 1, level 2 PEO course, or level 2 BTEC that hasn't quite got that C yet, you will be doing English and Maths alongside it. So you might have in your timetable, you would have a day where you have engineering lessons and then you have a maths lesson or an English lesson. So the idea is if you come to us at functional skills, by the time you get to a level 3 or a level 2, you will have a GCSE at a grade 4. Okay, or if you come to us and it's at a level 4, and you you need it higher to get onto the extended diploma, things like that, then we can definitely work on it. It is timetabled that every group has a maths and English lesson, and then if they're not needed, then we'll do extra engineering in them lessons. Okay.
Jack has asked what PPE would he need?
Excellent, that's fine. So when you come to us, Jack, the only PPE you will need is fire retardant overalls and steel toe cap safety boots. The rest is supplied in our workshop. We have all of our safety glasses, our gauntlets, our gloves, our ear protection, our welding screens. We have absolutely everything. The only thing you will need to supply is them. The fire retardant overalls have to be a one-piece overall, it's like a coverall. You can get them from the designated place that we say so, or it might be that you have them from somebody in the family or something, but they have to be fire retardant specifically because we do welding. And then steel toe cap safety boots. Again, we have a supplier that will supply them, or it might be that family or friends will have some that you can have. As long as they're steel toe cap, then that's absolutely fine. Okay.
Cool. We'll be in contact over the summer, Jack, just to let you know those supplies that Mike mentioned. But like you said, if you've already got them in the family, that's great. Cool. So I'm going to move on to share a little bit more about college life in general. But again, if you do have any questions, please pop them in the chat and I'll pick them up with Mike as we go through. So engineering is offered, level 1 to level 3 engineering is offered at our Medway campus, and our higher education engineering is offered at our Maidstone campus. Both are multi-million-pound facilities with salons, refectories, coffee shops, libraries, absolutely everything you're going to need to be a student at MidKent College. There's also careers hubs available at both campuses. So like Mike said, if you need any help at all, if you want to talk to someone about changing programs, or you just need some advice with what to do after college, they're the team to talk to as well. We do have bus stops right outside both of our campuses, so it's really easy to get to us. And there's also a train station about 10 to 15 minutes walk away. That's the Gillingham train station. We do have free parking for students available at our Maidstone campus, but unfortunately we're not able to offer that at our Medway campus just due to the size of the site. Mike did talk about the study programme, so there are 4 parts to it, and the only part I want to pick up just to develop is as part of your personal development session, you will be having a work-ready interview with an employer. That's nothing scary, that's nothing to worry about. That's literally, so you're going to have 10 to 15 minutes with one of our employers, just going through kind of a mock scenario of some of the questions that you might get asked. You'll dress in interview wear, just so that you'll get ready for when you do go out into industry. So as Mike mentioned, we do offer apprenticeships in engineering. If you want to find out more information, please pop into the apprenticeships tab on our website, or on Friday we are running an apprenticeship specific webinar. Please register for that on our website as well. You'll find out more information about the different frameworks, the expectations, and how your timetable might look a little bit different from a regular full-time study program. So just some of the FAQs that we receive. This is what our course inquiries, lots of them, they're here all the time. So how many days per week will I be in college? So Mike answered that one. It can be 3 to 5 days a week, but as I mentioned, due to social distancing, your timetables might be a little bit different. That's just due to how many students we can safely have in a classroom and in a workshop at the moment. Can I study more than one subject? So unlike at school where you can pick a mix, 3 to 4 different A-levels, at college you'll have one technical and professional study programme. So in this case it's engineering, and that will be supplemented by the English and Maths, your personal development session and your industry placement, as Mike mentioned. Can I go to university from college? Lots of our students do go on to university. our programs do qualify for UCAS points, and we will support you during the UCAS process. Both our tutors and the PPTs will support you as well. If university isn't for you, that's absolutely fine. Mike and his team have lots of connections within the industry and within different employers, and they'll be best placed to help you and advise you as to what employer would suit your career goals and also the skills that you have. So what do the different levels mean? So Mike, can I just ask, can you start on a level 2, or can you go straight into a level 3?
Yeah, no, you can go. You can join us straight in at level 2, straight in at level 3. You can join us at level 1. It doesn't matter. You won't have missed anything. I know that we say we build on everything. We have the stepping stones, but it's not a problem. If you come at level 2, that course is tailored to suit people for level 2 new joiners and level 2 that are progressors. Okay, there's lots of scope. Where it says, "Can I study more than one subject?" You can't within the college. Within engineering, we are lucky the fact of, because it is general engineering, it does lend itself to lots of other areas. So we have a lot of students that will come to us. They will do a level 1, level 2, learn to measure accurately, cut. They will learn to be safe in a workshop environment, etc., etc. And these are all transferable skills that you can take to motor vehicle, carpentry and joinery, plumbing. Plumbing does brazing. We cover brazing in welding as well. Okay, so welding isn't just welding. There's lots of subcategories of welding. So you have a good selection of TIG, MIG, arc. You have so you have a variety of things within engineering. You might come to us just for level 1, but you might then move on to level 2 somewhere else, level 3 somewhere else. So we do find that engineering is a very good base to then move on to other areas. Okay, so if you want to maybe eventually go into motor vehicle, but you want a bit of fabrication knowledge of how to make bodywork and panels and weld and things like that, it's not a bad place to go. Again, plumbing is exactly the same. You could do engineering, learn some welding and some fabrication. We can do a bit of pipe welding, and then you could go on to plumbing and become a plumber, pipe welder, which is I mean, it's a route I went down. It's it offers itself to a lot of other things. So the levels, don't get tied into. Apply for what level you feel you sit at. We will then help you once it comes to the day you start. We can move you up and down within our groups, help you to move somewhere else. If you are halfway through the course and you think that next year you want to go into plumbing, it's absolutely fine. When we're doing our welding, we will look at some extra brazing, some extra pipe welding, stuff like that as well. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. So how much does a program cost? So if you're 16 to 18, our courses are fully funded, so it's free for you. If you are 19 plus, fees do apply, but there are concessions available. We do have bursaries available for all age groups, subject to criteria. I have popped a handout about student finance on the right-hand side of your screen under handouts. So feel free to download it and check it out. As Mike mentioned, there's a couple of bits of PPE that you will need to provide, and we can help you if needed through our bursaries. Is there a deadline to apply? Engineering is one of our really popular programs. Applications have been open since last November, so I do advise that you apply as soon as possible. We do take applications into the first few weeks of September, but they do become full. If the courses become full, then you will be popped on a waiting list, and if a place becomes available, we then contact you. So life at college. College is so much more than just your study program. As Mike mentioned, you could be going out on lots of different trips to trade fairs and up to exhibitions. We also have pantomimes, we have our student award ceremony, we have lots of live gigs, and we also have freshers fairs as well. So some of our bigger events, such as freshers, might look a little bit different next year just due to social distancing rules. But we do have a social engagement team, so if you have any ideas or kind of things that you want to do or any kind of sports that you want to get involved in, they're definitely the team to talk to. So what support is available? So Mike and his team are really, really supportive and they're really friendly if you do have any queries. We have a financial support team as well. So if you need any help with regards to train warrants or bus passes, they're the team to talk to. We've got a student welfare team if you just want someone to talk to when you're on campus. We've got trained counsellors as well. And we have in-class support and exam support as well. So just let us know your needs on your application form or to your tutors as well, because they are here to help you. As Mike mentioned, we've got a cracking team of careers advisors, and they can book you in for an appointment just to go through getting you ready for an interview or to search for your first job. You can find out more about all of those support teams under the Help and Advice tab on our website. So what's next? If you've already applied, that's absolutely brilliant. And if you need to have your phone interview, don't worry, we'll be in touch soon. If you haven't applied, then please search and apply online on our website. Please use your predicted grade on the application form. Once you've submitted your application, our admissions team will be in touch within about 15 working days to set you up for a phone interview at the moment. Unfortunately, we can't do the face-to-face interviews, but we will be doing phone interviews with our tutors like Mike. It's nothing to worry about, it's nothing scary. We just want to make sure that it's the right program for you, it's the right level for you, and to answer any questions that you may have. And you can find out more about the tutors as well at that point. We do have other webinars available throughout the rest of this week. If there's any other subject areas you want to check out, particularly the apprenticeships one, that's happening on Friday. We also have careers ones as well, if that's of interest. If you do need any help at all, obviously Mike's given you his email address and Ruth's as well. But we've got a really good course inquiries team who can answer absolutely everything you need as well. They can be contacted on 01634 40 20 20. You can live chat with them on our website or just send them an email. As Simon said in his video, absolutely nothing is a stupid question. We'd rather you ask. So please do get in touch if you need anything. So you are going to receive a copy of this webinar in about half an hour to the email address that you registered with. If you want to go through any of Mike's slides, anything that we've covered about college life in general, or if there's anyone that you know who's also interested in engineering, you can share it with them. Thank you very much for your time today, and thank you to Mike for sharing more about engineering.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you again in person soon. Thank you, everyone.